Alright, so pardon me if I get things wrong as far as accents and voices. But we are doing the story quest Glorified Ratcatcher, given to us by Kryl. We are in Labyrinthos, in the upper Acrinthos. And I think this is the first quest we've taken that starts here. So yeah, here we go. We would do well to learn more of what, specifically, the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who has tasked them to do it. If you're game, Mercy, I have an idea. Didn't one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped Marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. The one right behind her? She's telling him that in front of him? We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting. Just, had a super weird, out of character conversation. Well, not even a conversation yet, just a quick whatever. Here's Aaronville, the one that was commenting about the marmots. Male bunny person. You wish to help me find the marmots. I have nothing suitable to pay you for your services. But if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. Tap your chest a couple times, and I got this. The name is Aaronville, friend, a specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Nogxian, Nagxian, Nogxian marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, that's me. There are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in this sack. Gently, of course. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so we'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot. Or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. So what? We zoom out. Because it was too close. But anyway, at one of the jobs I have as a caterer, we have a group chat amongst the caterers. And it has literally never been serious at all. And one of the caterers who trained me and trained another guy who started like literally one day after me, he left for about 6 or 7 months. He's got a sick wife, he's got a bunch of things he probably wants to take care of, probably made more than enough money. He's older, he's like in his early 60s or late 50s. He used to work for AT&T, but he's been a caterer for this company for about 10 years. So he leaves, comes back. The new guy who was hired the day after me, or started the day after me, he prepped some pico de gallo for tomorrow's orders, and he let the group chat know about it, amongst the other things like sour cream. It's a Mexican restaurant, so, or Tex-Mex or whatever, Southwestern. And he listed the things he prepped for tomorrow. The old guy who came back after 6 months texted one word, pico? Question mark, exclamation point. And then my fellow newbie texted yes. And then old returner said, okay, period. About 5 minutes, 10 minutes after that, I was like, kind of, maybe even less than that, I was crafting my response, because it seemed like old returner had an issue with it. Like, we don't prep pico the day before because we want the freshness to be as fresh as possible. If the prep people in the morning don't make pico by the time we need to get out the door for our first order, then we don't have fresh pico. And in the meantime, anytime I have gone there in the morning, I have prepped the pico for that day, from the pico that was made the day before. So it doesn't fucking matter at all. But it seemed like old returner had some notion in his mind that we do not prep pico for the day before. We do like sour cream, which is weird to me because it's dairy, and exposing dairy to air is worse, in my opinion, than exposing pico to air. We don't do guacamole because it has a tendency to brown over, and that's annoying. You have to like remix it to make it unbrown. It's perfectly healthy and fine and edible, but it looks weird. So if we prep cheese, sour cream, and fuck, what's the other one? Oh, salsa, because all of that keeps really well. So I think that the pico question mark exclamation point was like, why'd you do pico the day before? And then the straight up yes from the newbie was because we do it. Like, he's been away for 6 months. We may have changed policies. I don't know. So I texted, "Ah, I just made popcorn to watch the Chuck versus Bay Royal Rumble, and that's all there was." And then I texted at the end of that, "throws popcorn bowl." And hours later, we get a response in the group text. That was unprofessional. The conversation was over. And I texted back, did something change while I have been gone? Because I was gone. I haven't worked there for like a month because of my vacation, because they haven't needed me since I got back from vacation. And it's like, did something change while I was gone? This text thread has never been professional. They've sent memes back and forth. They've had inside jokes. They'll text something like, "Hey, I prepared this for you tomorrow." That's the only professionality we get in that text thread. And it's never been professional. And she said the conversation was already over. I'm like, what conversation? It was literally 3 words. And I said, whatever. I haven't received a response back yet. So I'm curious how that's going to work out. And if I don't have this job tomorrow, I don't fucking care. I will leave on a high note if they want me to. I'm not going to quit. But if they want to get rid of me, they're welcome to. This person who texted back the unprofessional thing, they're not a boss unless they were promoted in the 3 weeks I've been gone. We fought a couple wolves. Chirp, squeak, says a grizzled mouse and runs off. Barely have you readied the sack when the grizzled mouse scampers off into the underbrush. But that's it. That's my entire story so far. And this gal who texted back that we were being unprofessional, she and I had such a freaking good rapport. A great working relationship. I enjoyed every minute. Like, we got along great. So this is like out of left field for me, as if like I did something personally to slight her when I don't understand what that would have been. I literally told her before I left for the Philippines to meet this woman who is going to become my wife, like she's who I'm now engaged to, and the girl I work with, she's married, has a baby, been married for like 5-10 years, whatever, something like that, like happily married. So it's nothing weird about that. I told her, you'd be my best man. You would be my best man if I got married, in a location where you could travel to be my best man. Like, that's how good our working relationship was. So I have no idea what the fuck changed. This exchange has confused the fuck out of me. So we got another wolf, I think it was, and a troll. A troll that looks like a goat. Kind of weird. That grizzled mouse again. Squeak! We'll do the rat sack this time. Rat sack, rat pack. But it gets away. The rodent nimbly evades your grasp before once again disappearing into the trees. Into the unknown. There are bigger trolls that I'm like moving around so as not to get aggro, but this smaller troll looked more like a gobu than a troll. Like, these are furry So furry on top. So from the underside of the belly all the way up to the top of the head, furry, like a yeti, like a Sasquatch. And then from the underside of the belly down, scales, like dragon scales, lizard scales. Very strange. A version of a troll I have never seen before. I have also not read where the wild things are, but I guess based on the cover art or the art I have seen either from the book or in response to or in homage to the book, it kind of reminds me of that. Very strange though. Alright, we have found a grizzled mouse with no fight thingy around it. Chirp! We'll use the rat sack. Squeak, squeak! More prepared for its speed this time, you succeed in closing the sack over your elusive quarry. Yeah, biatch. Bish, I said what I said. Oh no. This person in the free company has named themselves Conquistador. Alright then. You know, you do you. How did you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. I hand over my squirming rat sack. Ah, there's the odd marmot out. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in a holding cage. He walks off. We get either just a black screen for a second or a cutscene. Yeah, we get a cutscene. He walks back to us. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. Who tasked you to capture them in the first place? Or, what will you do with the marmots now? Who tasked you to capture them in the first place? Why, the authority in charge of Labyrinthos, now and in perpetuity. The same officials who've had us working day and night of late. The honorable members of the Forum. Who else? Suitable for consumption and easy to breed, those were the 2 conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the Forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. Growl comes up with Alfno Yishtol Alice. There you are, Mercy, says Alice. Is this the gleaner you mentioned, the one who's looking for lost marmots? Says Cryle. Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I'm Cryle of the students of Baldessian. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we have made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hoped that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. He nods at that. Wise and practical. Wise and practical. Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Sorry, I can't talk. Good, I'm working on it. Anyway, duty calls, other animals to capture, and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. He waves, starts to walk off, and does so entirely. Did you learn anything from your new friend there? That friend here? Cryle. I'm sorry that I can't get her accent down. So we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. She nods. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered when the operation was begun, the Forum contacted the Gleaners Guild Shop and put their people to this great work some 4 days after the Telophoroi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. As Alphino. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Ystrola. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Telophoroid's declaration was what set it all in motion? God damn it! I'm so sorry. That was what I'll say, but it wasn't because I suck. It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archeon? From there, we can reach the lower... She gets a massive headache, does Kryl. The rest of us look on. Kryl, what's wrong? Says LSA. She's back. I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. Nothing will stop me from soldiering on. Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it, then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archeon. We follow the path east, through the forest where you were chasing after that mouse, or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. Oh, this is Alphino. Ah! I hate not being able to do the voices that I have been able to do in the past, and it's my own fucking fault, obviously, but... So we head southeast along a pathway through the woods, not very densely packed with trees, but not a sparse amount either. Trolls wandering about, standing guard of their little troll area. We cross a little canal. We have floating plant monsters we have seen before. Small, probably no more than like 10 pounds. Some tendrils of plant, but like a little plant mouth with teeth. And here we have Alphino. Alphino will be the person we talk to complete this quest. Behold the Archeon. As Numenon serves as Charlian's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture, too, is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archeon contains a physical history of Charlian's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Glorified Ratcatcher is done. There will be a link in the description of this video that will send you to my Google Doc PowerPoint where every slide is an item on Amazon that I personally recommend because I use them and they're great and I replenish my supply when I run out. If you buy any of those items with the link on that particular slide, I will get a small cut. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for the accents. I'll see you next time.